What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Jungle Gyms podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. What a fun weekend. We just got done with the Weekend of Fire. It was amazing. It was my first time doing the Weekend of Fire. And I got to tell you, for those of you, if you were worried about going to something like this, like, I don't know if I love hot sauces. There were so many mild options. It was great. I mean, there was like literally a sauce for everybody. We had a ton of barbecue sauces. I tried an incredible fry sauce from Chili Rocks. I got so many samples. I've got a ton of product. You will see it on a future episode. You'll see it on some TikTok, shorts, you name it. I'm trying to think of some of the brands that gave me stuff to try. Melinda's. Oh my gosh, Melinda's. Amy at Melinda's. You were the best. Hellfire Detroit. Gene. Glad we got to hang out and meet. Hank sauces. Hot Llamas, Farmer Nate sauces, Amplify. I mean, there were a billion of them, and I have so many samples now to try. It's incredible. I need a new fridge for just sauces now. So if we can work that out. If Dude Fridges is watching this, I need another fridge in my house. Please send it to me. We'll put it in the studio. It'll be great. Anyway, Weekend of Fire was awesome. If you missed it, well, you missed it. You got to come next year. It's great. We've got more festivals coming up. I'm pretty sure the next big one is the International Wine Festival. That's usually in November. Don't quote me. I don't know when that's actually happening or anything like that. This is not any sort of official announcement, but I just like to keep the excitement levels high. So that's been awesome. Oh my gosh. I got to give a quick shout out again. I know we talked about it briefly last week, but I just went to their it's just like the friends and family event, because now we're both friends and family, Michael. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. But I mentioned last week that Michael from Dunge Provisions, he recently just took over running. It's a new concept from a Filipino restaurant out of Columbus called Bonifacio. They just opened their concept here called Gabriella. It's in Norwood. The food was amazing. I got to try a bunch of cool stuff. You definitely, if you're into pork at all, I mean, everything I tried was delicious. There was a great chicken adobo if you're a little scared of branching out. But if you're not, get the Lechon box. So Lechon, it's like a crispy pork. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. They recommended I try this almost like a corn salad. It was almost like Filipino elote. Everything was so good and fresh and delicious. It was really great. Congratulations to all of you. I'm pretty sure it opens officially to the public, if I read my Instagram post right today, August 22nd. Come on out. Let's all eat. You know what? Why don't we do like a podcast meetup at one of these? I think that would actually be a really fun thing. If you're into that, shoot me an email at podcast@junglegyms.com and let me know if you think that would be a fun idea. Lastly, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this week's episode, one last reminder, this weekend, August 10th, 11th, 12th, is the Voices of America Country Music Festival. And guess what? Your boy's going to be there. I'll be there in a professional setting Thursday and Friday. Saturday, I'll probably just be there for fun. So if this is your chance, if you're going to the festival, I'd love to meet you. If you're one of our contest winners, because we've been doing contest promo for like the last 2 months on this, I would love to meet you as well. Although I did meet one of you at Weekend of Fire this weekend, so thank you for that, keeping me gainfully employed. But this will be a great opportunity for you to jump on the Jungle Gyms podcast if you want. Show off your outfit. You can't miss me. I'm always dressed loud. I have not been successful in creating my Doug Dimmadome style tall hat. Just way too many things going on. I'm not very handy or crafty. But I think today I got an offer of a sequined cowboy hat that should fit my giant head. So looking forward to that. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you to Aaron. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me. Bo, all of you that reached out to help with me. That's going to be great. But again, just look for me. I'll be the brightly dressed one who seems very out of place. I don't know anything about country music, guys, except that they play a lot of guitar solos these days. But I do know a lot about guitar solos, so this should be fun. And I'm the type of person who just loves a good time, and I'm down to try anything. So come out, say what's up to me, get on the show, and let me ask you a question or two. Maybe I'll have something fun to give away. I don't know yet, no promises, but I might. And if nothing else, I can give away a little fame and notoriety to you. So, all right, on that, I've been excited to dive into this section of the store for a while. I'm a pet owner myself, and Jungle Gyms does carry everything. And with these shows, it's always more about not just the product. Like, I know you guys are all really cool with me talking about product all the time and showing off new stuff in the store, and it's an easy way for us to tell you about new stuff that shows up, but I also think it's really fun to meet the personalities behind this. And I know I've talked about this a bunch on the podcast where, like, we're different than the traditional corporate store in that we have a lot of freedom to try new things and see if it works. And if it does, then great, we'll keep doing it. If it doesn't, we'll rework that approach or change it or stop it altogether. I know I've experienced it here, and I think you'll hear that from Mike as well, who really came, Mike, not Michael, to be clear. You'll get the joke in a minute. But Mike from our pet department, man, it was just really refreshing to hear him coming from this like super corporate background to a place like this that provides a lot of freedom and creativity and excitement. And Mike's just a funny guy. And so we've been cutting up for a long time here, and I'm glad we were finally able to work it out so he could come on, show you some new projects. Like, look, you want to learn about those dog umbrellas that we carry that are, I think, only like $5? You're going to find out. Am I going to get one from Bark Morrison? Probably. New treats. I mean, we found Meow-Wana joints for your cat, pet food, you name it. I mean, like literally all kinds of stuff. I didn't know how many bird feeders we had here, okay? And neither do you, and you're going to find out. Anyway, I would love for you to meet Mike. I'm leaving that in. I'm sorry. Look, the stammering is funny to me sometimes, but I'm so excited for you to meet Mike from our pet department. Let's learn all about this. Mike, not Michael, right? I'm not calling you Michael, even though your name tag says it. This is, everyone, meet Mike. He's here from the pet department.
I am.
We're off to a good start. Say hello to the people, Mike.
Hello, people.
If you want them to call you Mike.
I am Mike Acello. I am from the pet department at Jungle Gyms in Fairfield. That is my identifier right now.
That's awesome. Look, this, like I said off air, this is just how we get you to have Mike branded name tags. Because I imagine customers will probably just be like, hello, Michael. And then, I mean, that'd be like, I'm not a Marcus, but like if people called me Marcus, I'd be like, why are we doing this? I'm not even wearing a suit and tie today, nor will I ever be caught in one, probably.
I'm sure.
Unless they ask very politely, then I'm like,
or
okay, I'm soft.
Maybe a
fine.
funeral.
Right. Well, maybe. If you think I'm showing up to a funeral and anything less than like shiny gold, you're out of your mind. Okay, let's actually do the show.
Sure.
So, Mike, okay, so you run the pet department here.
I do.
What is your day-to-day look like? Like, walk me through your day here at Jungle Gyms.
I mean, my day is pretty boring, actually.
That's okay.
It's just paperwork and meeting with vendors. I'm constantly looking at my sets to see if they all look good and if they would appeal to customers. When I do get on the floor, I often talk to customers and find out what they think about stuff and, where they're going. I read a lot of industry magazines and stuff to try to get with trends and be on top of it. Because, we're a different breed of store. Yeah. Even different than...
Pet puns too, I love it.
Even the Eastgate is more of a weekly store for people than this store. This is more of a destination.
Sure.
So I always look at it like, 40% of my customers are here once a week or daily. Mm-hmm. And then the rest are like people who come in from Indiana are like, oh my God, look at this.
Right. Oh,
so, I want to appeal to them because they're only here once and they might be willing to drop $20 on something. Whereas if they go to their local store, they're like, I don't want to spend $20.
Right. But they'll come in and they'll be like, all right, I'm buying
Look
a
at
Kong.
This, it's flashy.
Right. Exactly. Right next to the NASCAR.
Right. Exactly.
Well, you got like those pet umbrellas in recently.
Oh yeah.
And those have been blowing through. And when they first showed up.
That's my fourth shipment of those.
It's insane. When they first came in, I was like, and this is clearly my ignorance and idiocy, but I see that stuff and I'm like, who is the customer for this? And as I'm thinking that, I watched two different people pick them up and I was like, do I not love my dog enough? Is that like, this is my takeaway?
No, here's one of my basic philosophies on that is that sometimes anything like $6 and under people will buy, whether they need it or not.
Sure.
And I feel like when I saw those, actually, I saw those last year in Vegas at a show.
Yeah.
And I thought, these are so stupid.
Yeah.
I walked away and I came back and I'm like, man, that's I can make some money and people will buy that.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun. Honestly, it's cute, and the price is cheap too. So it's one of those that I'm like, oh, this is what I think a lot of, especially probably a lot of the young market, they got to look at stuff like that. And they're like $5 for what will get me a little Instagram traction today. I'm in. That's like a cheap buy.
No,
so
you're right.
And it is helpful. I mean, it's so funny enough. Morrison hates water, which is very funny for a herding dog.
Right.
Like, it's weird that you are anti-water. So it's like a product. I'm like, oh, that actually, I am the target customer. I was wrong all along. It's something you said before, and I want to make sure I understand. But you said when you were talking about looking at your sets, when you say sets, you mean just like the way the product is like set up and displayed
on the shelf.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when this whole area where this broadcast booth is, that's when I started with the company. So I come from a long history of working at corporate America stores. Mm-hmm. So I actually set 90% of the toy section and like 50% of the pet section I mean, they've changed them all
Sure.
since I did it, but the initial set, I did most of them. They just locked me out here and said, here you go.
Get wild. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I did. And so while I built half the pet department, I mean, you go through there and stuff gets discontinued. You move stuff around. Honestly, sometimes you can put this box here and this box here and then flip flop them and they sell completely differently.
It's wild how that works.
It is crazy.
I was watching something in American Grocery along those lines recently, and it was kind of like, oh, wow, if you put all of the products that are like themed for like a dish together, it was crazy to watch it move like that. And it's funny because like, I imagine it just comes down to if I'm going to look for something, it makes it easy so you're not hunting for separate items. Now, obviously, like you said, this place is strange, unique, a little different layout. So I think people are a little more on board here with like, all right, I'll look at every aisle to find whatever unique thing is.
For
but
sure.
at the same time, why not? That's cool though.
Yeah, for all the people we get asking us where stuff is, I would say the majority of the people are on their own and they're happy about it.
Yeah, and they're like, no, let me get lost.
I'll find it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think it was Jimmy said in one of our early episodes, he's like, no, I kind of like it. It's like the labyrinthy nature of the story. It's kind of
I
part of the
totally
magic,
agree.
And it's the difference between here and Eastgate. Eastgate, I think, is like, yeah, it's a little more weekly shopper energy.
Yeah,
but
for
here
sure.
it's like, you want to get weird with me? So
Right, look at this
bone. Well, before we go on to the products, I got to ask about the trade show too, because all I've been thinking about is your like R&D and research, just your research and like finding new products in general. I'm like, how many animals do you consult with? Are there animals at the trade shows?
Oh, yeah.
See,
I mean, it depends on the trade show. Like Super Zoo in this month is like the biggest of all of them in the world, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's their 50th year. They're out in Vegas.
That's right. And they were doing, I remember I tried to go last year because they were doing like a grooming contest.
They do that every year.
Year.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Please, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. They have like this grooming contest and it's insane. Yeah. I mean, because just walking around the hotel, you see all these weirdo dogs that are, like got balls on them. And like the contest, like I watched the contest last year. I mean, they have like 10 contests, but I watched one of them and I was like, these people are taking this way seriously. I mean, I just would find it really hard to take.
Yeah, I'd say
putting purple dots on my dog is a serious thing.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's why. And you know what? Maybe now is a good time for me to offer this up to everyone out there at the Super Zoo. Super Zoo, reach out to me. I would love to be a part of the groom. I'm not trying to groom the animals. I'm offering to let you groom me. You can dye any part of me, any color you'd like. I'm on board. I just want to see how it works.
No, that'd be great. I mean, we could do that here, I'm sure.
That's true,
We've got razors and stuff in the pet department for grooming your own pet. So, I mean,
so that's why I'm going to bring
that would be in the next podcast.
Let's see what happens.
Sure.
I've been trying to get somebody to dye my beard and hair to match the wall. That's the thing I'm really excited about. And I kept thinking, I was like, this would be good. I haven't quite locked it in yet, but it's going to happen. Like one of these days.
I mean, you need to go one of those hair shows. They would do that. I mean, that would be.
That's a trade too. And I'm like, listen, do it for free. Dude, this is
Well,
your,
no,
this
I
is
mean,
your
they would
budget.
use you as an example.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a podcast while they dye your hair and everything.
Right. I'm like, yeah, you can have all the content.
It's not like they'd be able to have you sit down and shut up for 10 minutes. So,
Good
I mean,
luck, right? Exactly. We're like 8 minutes in. I'm like, I'm definitely enjoying this. Well, I'm in a good mood today. I just completed my hostile takeover of Fox 19 News. So
good for you.
It's pretty cool. They seemed very on board, but that's usually how it goes in a takeover situation. People are like, just let him do what he wants and he'll leave. That's my whole life, Mike.
I'm sure.
Okay. So all kidding aside now, so we moved on to products. I mean, we can't miss the big bone in the room. What the hell is that?
It's it's a mammoth bone is what it is.
Mammoth
but it's
bone.
not
Okay.
actually from a woolly mammoth.
Okay,
I'm
a little
sorry.
let down, but that's okay.
No, I believe it's a cow bone.
Okay, that
but
makes
they
sense.
don't ever tell me. I just get them in and I put them out. you
Yeah,
know?
right.
I just always think this is hilarious when I see like little old ladies pick this up for their dog because
Yeah.
I'm like, you can barely carry this. I mean, what do you got? Throw it to your dog?
Yeah, and how big is the dog? That when you see that, I'm like, what kind of animal are you taking care of? You know,
Right.
And no
And
shade. It's
why?
just
What
like,
happened?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. I'm fostering this, whatever Newfoundland.
Dane.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. Do you mind if I?
Have at it.
Oh yeah, let me see here. So what do we got? Mammoth bone. What do you think? Oh, they tell you the weight.
Yeah.
850 grams. Since we're not in America right now, a 30-ounce bone though. So yeah, almost 2 pounds of bone.
Yeah.
I want to. Now here's your. Do you have a very small dog out there, audience, that you'd like to see if they can pick this up. Bring them in. Call me first, but then bring them to me. You can reach me, podcast@junglegyms.com. I would love to take that photo for you.
I totally agree. That would be
so
awesome.
Funny. Do people ask you questions about, like, what, when I see products like this, do they, ingredients, beef bone. Do they ask you stuff like, do you know what this like, what are some of the crazy questions you might get around something like that?
Do you have anything bigger? I had somebody ask me that last week, and I'm like, how big do you want?
Yeah.
This is like pretty big. They always ask me what it is.
Right.
And if I have other parts, which brings us to this.
Okay. Yeah. What do we have there? At first I was like, is this a pretzel?
It's a pig snout.
Nose.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Weird.
So I know you want to touch that one.
Yeah, I kind of do, oddly. It looks, on the other side, I'm like, oh, it looks like dried pineapples. I was like,
I know,
that's a little more appealing.
Does it smell like bacon?
More than I thought it would, actually, weirdly enough. I'm like, it does have that pork note to it. Huh. No. But
I mean, it's natural.
Yeah, it is true. It is natural, but that scares me. This is like the thing with pig when they dried out. I'm like, that's why they call humans long pig in colloquial, like pop culture references. Like, that's a little too familiar to me. I have this part somewhere on me. So if this is like a dog chew, though, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I sell about a case of these a week.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I see those. I see the 30. Pig ears too. Yeah,
pig ears are my number one seller every day. No matter what.
Really?
I see a list every day of what my top sellers are. I barely even look at number one because it's always pig ears.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the amount of pig ears we sell is about like 1,000 a week. Maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, but that's still, let's say even 500 a week is still a crazy. I can't even imagine what that looks like.
Right, or how many pigs had to die for that?
Yeah, listen. They had it coming. I'm hoping that someone has figured out. They're like, all right, use these parts from the ones that we're also eating. I'm sure we figured that out.
Well, I think at this point, every part of animals that we consume is like used in something else. Like I've got so many different tendon treats now, and
great point.
Like skin treats. We sell salmon skin. We have 3 different vendors that sell me salmon skins. This is one of 2 different pig snouts I have.
Interesting. Any difference in the product, really, or what's
the other ones are smaller?
Okay.
They come from different parts. Like the pig ears, actually, most of them come from Brazil. Huh. Yeah, who would have ever thought? Every once in a while I get an offer for some made in the USA ones. And I'll take them if I can get them, but I got vendors all the time hitting me up for pig ears because I think I'm the biggest pig ear salesman in Cincinnati area.
That's amazing. We got to put that. I want that on your name tag too.
Sells the most pig ears.
It says Mike A, #1 pig ear salesman. That's good. Put it on the resume, baby.
There you go. My next job.
I don't know anyone else that even sells them. Yes.
Well, tell me about your experience with pig snouts.
Yeah, you're like, well, I've got a few different vendors. That's great. So on that end, before we move on, I know there is a lot of talk about buying US-made treats versus the international ones. Do you have any thoughts on that or any pointers, tips?
If I personally had a choice, I would buy all American stuff.
Yeah.
But it is the pig ears from Brazil are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And when push comes to shove, I'm here to make money.
Yeah, well,
thanks for making me be serious. But
no, I'm sorry to do it for a second. I was like, every so often, it's edutainment, right? We'll laugh a little bit, and then we're like, oh, Brazilian pig ears, very interesting. Anyway, back to how many bones can you carry in your mouth?
No,
that's a whole different show. That's Jungle Gyms After Hours.
I get. Now I'm thinking I get parts from literally all over the world.
Yeah.
Really.
I'd imagine depending on the product too. It's like stuff like that. I would assume is probably not overly processed. So
this is actually American made.
Oh, okay.
So this
I was
one
thinking
is
the ears, for example.
This is from actually this company Red Barn is all their stuff is American made and
cool.
American sourced.
Sweet, that's awesome too.
Yeah, and that's one of my biggest vendors. I have their giant display out there of theirs. So I saw a ton of Red Barn stuff. It's really good quality product.
That's cool.
That's it for Red Barn.
Okay, you're like, all right. Yeah,
they got enough out of me.
We got there. Yeah. Thank you for sponsoring this segment. Okay.
Moving on to cats. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out another cat treat while you tell me
So
about
we have
this
all
one.
these fish, literal fish. This is herring.
What?
Actual herring in a bag. I sell a lot of it. Same thing with smelts and minnows. I sell the actual fish itself. They just freeze dry it, put it in a bag, and I sell it.
That is... Okay, so again, So my cat knowledge is somewhat, I'm generally a dog person. I like cats too, right? Got a few cute ones in my life. But this is just, you just feed them the whole fish as the treat?
Yeah.
Amazing. Because I've done the salmon skins before for Morrison. It makes his coat a little shinier and softer. That's wild. I love this. Yeah. Air dried as Vikings did in 900 AD. All right. That sounds a little like though. I'm willing to bet there's not a whole lot of like, we didn't like stretch a bunch of weird wood over the ocean. Nobody died to make this besides the fish.
Right.
No, I'm kidding though. Caught fresh daily though. That's super cool. Wow. That's very fun.
Yeah. Icelandic is a great company too.
Yeah. What other kind of stuff do they carry for us besides
I've got cod skins, herring. They have minnows too. They've got these, I can't remember what they are, but they're wrapped in cod skins.
Okay.
Or wrapped in cod skins. They've got a whole line of stuff we sell. It's really quality product that we sell.
I'm gonna have to pick some of these up.
Not a lot of people sell that stuff.
Yeah, that's really unique. I've never seen anything like this on a store shelf, and I have, well, at least prior to my time. Now that I don't have to go to a third party, I'm like, I spend enough time in your aisles, just be like, okay, will he like this? Or will the cat like this? Whatever. So that's very cool. All right, yeah, you got me interested in this whole line now. See, this is exactly what this is all about, Mike. We're like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I didn't
we'll find out while we do it.
Yeah, but no, I'll be like, yeah, exactly. I was like, just bring the stuff in. We'll figure it out and we'll talk about it. But this is really cool. And this is stuff that like, the whole point of this is people don't, we break like 200,000 SKUs recently in the store, something insane like that. I'm like, yeah, there's no way any of us know all of those. So it's an easy way to be like, oh, this is some fun stuff that we got coming.
Yeah.
And I've been joking about this with you for the last hour, but you did bring a package of joints for your cat though.
Meowana.
Yeah, Meowana. King size catnip. The funny part, I was threatening to smoke one of these off air. We're like, well, so it turns out catnip might not be safe for me to do it. So even for the gag, I'm just not going to find out. But for those of you who appreciate this a little deeper, they're using raw branded cones. So these are like real joints.
And I have 3 different varieties.
No kidding.
No kidding. And they sell great.
They smell great. And now I'm like,
I'm just always afraid that somebody's going to buy those and like try to pass them off as real joints.
Jokes on the, yeah.
I mean, they look so real.
They look real.
They're twisted at the bottom.
Yeah, they really
did
a good job. I mean, the only tell is that they smell kind of like tea.
Right.
You're like, oh, that's weird. Not THC. Right? So you got to go to the liquor store for that here. That's so funny.
He doesn't mean straight THC from the liquor store,
right,
just to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about this. It's like that Delta, whatever the legal stuff is.
Delta 8. Yeah, that's it.
Delta Airlines, because you're taking off. I'm trying to get to
now you're going to get a call from them.
I probably am. Delta Airlines, call me. You owe me a voucher for my Vegas trip in 2021, okay? Actually, you sent me the voucher. Thank you very much. And you even extended it through the end of this year. I love you, Delta Airlines. Yeah. I don't know why either. I was very nice. I was never mad about it. Maybe that's why. It's weird how being friendly to people gets you what you want in life very frequently.
My niece is one of those people that would have gotten you that at Delta Airlines.
Yeah, so, see, I'm making that call next time. I'm like, hi, listen, I'm just let me tell you. And then they're like, oh, wow, you didn't scream any obscenities at me? I will do whatever I can to help you.
That is exactly what she says. She's like, I get so many people screaming at me. Yeah. Anybody who doesn't scream, I do whatever I can for.
Right. It's crazy. That's amazing how that works. I feel like that's kind of move in life.
It seems so simple.
Yeah. And a lot of people are just, and I get it. Now the show is going to be about, like, let's dive into mental health.
Or customer service.
But it is one of those things where I think people get so caught up and you get angry in the moment. And it's just it's hard not to, but it's like, yeah, that's today's show's advice. If you can avoid, smoke some of this Meowana and chill out before you make a customer service.
Let us know what happened to you when you do.
Yeah, please do. The internet says it's a bad idea, so maybe don't. This is not a call to action, but if you do it, send me that footage because I will happily share it. Anyway, now that we've gone too far, you know what I really wanted to, now that we derailed on the joints, but I just want to know how the cats use these. Do they tear it up?
Yeah, they just chew it up.
Okay, I figured as much because like there is that part of me that I'm like, yes, I would like to see your cats smoking a joint a little bit. Like that's on. I didn't know that was on the list.
I really want to see that now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, if you have hippie cats, please reach out to me in podcast. All right, I'll put it away after the show. That is awesome though. And so they also don't they have it in like these also come in like the childproof medicine.
I mean,
jars,
I've got
right?
I guess I should have brought more of that stuff. I mean,
so
the whole line. There's Yow and Meowana, so they're both like pot-centered, like
so amazing.
Packaging. So one of them is buds. It's like a whole package that just says catnip buds, and the other one I have 2 jars. One of them comes in a really nice plastic jar.
Really?
Just like you would keep your regular weed in.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Like, yeah,
and it's
you're
like
this came fresh
airtight.
from the cat
It's got a
dispensary.
little clamp on it. Yeah, exactly.
That's actually really nice.
And then the other one is a plastic tub. Same thing. It's just like a airtight tub. It's just got catnip in it. I sell a ton of
I
that
bet it's
stuff.
hilarious. And honestly, that sounds like a way nicer way than any of us have been keeping our actual weed. You know, I was like, oh, is that what that's for? Crazy. It just says oregano on the outside. You have binoculars, so I can't.
Yes. So, I mean, I got a whole bird thing.
Yeah. Oh, so something I
yeah.
think is very interesting about us as a store, and I feel like because most pet stores are, I wouldn't say limited, right? But when I go to a lot of places,
they are.
you know, and I'd say because we're in kind of a unique space, right, where we are a international market,
Right.
So I would say that usually if I go to a competitor of ours, I don't think I'm going to find bird feeders. I'm going to find dog food, cat food.
Right.
That's
You might
probably
find a couple bird feeders and some bird seed.
Sure.
I mean, we sell a ton of bird seed.
I was gonna
Every
say.
store sells a ton of bird. No
Yeah.
matter what store it is.
Really?
Put bird seed out there, people buy. Yes.
It's crazy. I had no idea. I don't think I have enough good relationships with birds to be invested in their health.
Okay. I don't even
But
know
I'd
what
like
to say.
to. Listen, I'm on board now.
Well, see, this
I
would
know
be
a
the
couple
perfect
parrots
thing.
now.
I mean, this is like $4.
So, yeah,
and
what
it's,
is it?
It's a disposable bird feeder. You just hang it up. There's a little thing. You pull the plastic off. You stick this stick in the side.
Yeah.
And it's like a
so they
little
can land
perch
on
for the
it?
birds. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then once it's done, you throw it away.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this, and it's a local local Indianapolis. This
enough.
guy approached me out of the blue and said, "Would you be interested?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, that's really cool. It's
That's cool.
innovative. It's
Do you mind if I
something
see it?
different. No,
Yeah. That's fun. Oh, there's a lot of bird seed in here. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was going to flex or not.
right.
really
So, like,
English
if you're
garden
going
mix.
camping for the weekend and you want some birds around you, take one of those with you and hang it up by your campsite.
That's so cool. I saw along these lines, I saw somebody selling this. It was like a little bird feeder with a built-in, almost like a GoPro, right? With a built-in camera, so you could get footage of the animals feeding on it. I'm like, oh, I want one of that's. I think that's my
Yeah, that
gateway
would be
drug.
really cool. Yeah.
This is so awesome. I love the idea of you taking this on the camping trip too, because that would kind of like in a weird way. I'm like, yeah, come on, nature, you can hang out a little bit. Too. I gotta,
come a
I
little
gotta set up.
closer.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get your picture. That's so cool. Well, and then if not, you could use these binoculars.
Right, exactly. I've got
I
two
had no idea
different
we
kinds of
even have
binoculars.
those.
Yeah,
Really?
actually, sometimes when you don't have a corporate overlord, you stumble onto stuff a lot easier.
Yeah.
So one of the other people that works here in the greenhouse, Connie, she went to a show and she actually set me up with this. That wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
And so she set me up with a vendor and I was like, you know what? Sure. What the hell? I've gone through 3 orders of binoculars already and I've got 2 different kinds. Yeah.
That's awesome. Are they all kids lines?
No,
or-
I just brought this is the cheapest one.
cool.
I've got an adult one and a kids one.
No kidding.
Yeah. And
I'll
I've got
check that
some
out.
birding books too, and they've been selling too. They're really,
Yeah,
you just don't know what people are going to be interested in until you put it in front of them.
For sure. And I think this is cool because that's even stuff I didn't even think to look at back there. Well, I was looking at like the little peacock guy here. Well, I'm like, I'll see stuff like that. And I love that that's a thing too, where again, it's like you have a really well-rounded approach to the world of not just pet care and not just pet food, right? Where it's like a little bit of everything. There's like accessories involved. I know we keep joking about the dog umbrellas, but like again, that is like kind of a unique, fun thing, and I love that you're bringing that kind of stuff up. And
I
put it
wish
on
I would have
full
brought a
display.
dog umbrella in here now.
Listen, like I told you, what I'll try and do is before this airs, if I have time before I air it, I'm going to try and bring Morrison in here one day, and I'll let him try on some of the attire. And just see, get a little
I always
dog
wonder how
model.
dogs feel about an umbrella hanging over their head.
Find out. I mean, he speaks fairly well. He's like not super fluent, but he's good. We're going to try and teach him sign language. I watched a cat
luck.
do it. So
Really?
I'll have to send you the clip. But it was the cat's owner was deaf, and so learned quickly that meowing at him was not going to get treats, and the cat learned a couple basic sign.
Really?
Yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That is
I was like,
crazy.
okay, I I think I could teach this.
I want to
do a
see
couple
the
things.
video to make sure that's not fake. That just seems so.
Wait till you see it. It's crazy. And it was like, it's like got to be 20 plus years old because it's like standard def. He's got that everybody's house, I feel like, had that one room where it was like the wood panel walls with the lines in between. I got that kind of aesthetic.
Right.
I was like, this is definitely the early 90s. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll send you the clip after the show.
Sure.
Great. Wow. But anyway, I'm sorry to derail from there.
That's
well,
all
that's
right.
the whole podcast.
I was just going to say, we derailed like 4 times already.
Yeah, well, we get to me, the show is not just about the products and not just about the stores. And this sounds trite and silly when I get serious for a second, but it really is to me a lot about the personalities and the people that come on here. Because like, yeah, it's great. You can order products. A lot of people can order products, but I would say that you, like every other department manager, you're adding your own personal flair and flavor to this, which is why I think that you're finding these kinds of items, right? I mean, I'm not crazy in saying that, right?
No, you're right. I mean, you know, my 2 predecessors when I first started, they're like Corinne and Travis, they're both gone. And, you know, it was just kind of like, what do you want to do? And I just started making it my own. And it's
so cool.
Yeah. You know, I love it. It's been an adventure for me, you know, cause it's a little overwhelming sometimes because, you know, I've got 17 vendors that I have to buy from and pay the bills and keep the shelves filled and keep my employees busy and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I come in every day and I like it. It's really good.
Is there a certain product or line or something that you really feel like this is my baby? I feel really strongly about it.
I mean, not anymore. There used to be, but now there's
what was
like,
one of those?
Well, let me see. Well, I mean, one of them was I brought in, and it's was a Canadian company that was making big moves in the U.S. called Vet Diet.
Okay.
And then last month they said they don't want to sell to the United States anymore, so they're pulling out of the U.S. But I worked like a dog to build that brand, and it's selling now. And it's like, no, really? Because it's like, you know, 10 SKU or 15 SKUs for dog and 5 for cats. I'm like, it's really quality stuff. It's on the line of Hill's Science Diet.
Okay.
But it's Canadian.
Yeah.
And it's like
a little friendlier.
Yeah. And they just decided they didn't want to deal with the United States anymore, which, you know.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer.
All right. So this is how we start finagling our way back. Like, all right. We need one of those roundabout connections. Like, oh, yeah, I know a guy in Detroit with a truck.
I mean, you know, that one, I brought in I shouldn't tell all the ones that have failed, but I brought in a Ukrainian brand.
Oh, cool.
I was all excited because it was right at the beginning of the Ukrainian war.
Yeah.
And it took off at first, and then it's just dying on the shelf now. But I mean, it's
a
super
great product,
premium.
right? Yeah.
Oh, it's a fantastic.
So this is
and
one
it's
of those
all half
times.
price now.
Oh, see, that's great. No, so what's the brand called?
Optimeal.
Optimeal? Very cool. Well, see, that's what I like about the show too. And the thing is, it's like, again, because we have so many products here, it's probably hard for customers sometimes to decide on a long-term new selection.
Oh yeah.
So like, I'll definitely check out Optimeal. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super high premium stuff. I've actually bought out most of the wet cat food.
Yeah.
My cats go insane about it.
Yeah.
It's very few cat foods that they lose their minds over.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So don't expect to buy that here because there won't be any left. But Eastgate should have some left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, until I go over there.
I was just going to say, until I go over there next week.
home, baby.
So
That's cool, though.
Yeah, Optimeal is a good one. I brought in a couple dog toys like Tall Tales. They're really well made, like out of leather, and they're really nice looking. They feel really good. They're really tough. I'm selling a lot of them. It was one of those ones I took a chance on because, you know, they're expensive, and I'm like, somebody want to spend $25 on a dog toy? I was wrong. They do.
Yeah.
So
well, we love our pets, and like you know, I will say this: the more I spend on Morrison's toys, the longer they last. You know, and he's like not big; he's like 30 pounds, but he will destroy anything he wants. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Like having that little extra, I mean, it makes sense. You got to. And for me, I always, from the customer side, I'm always like, all right, how many toys would I buy in this period anyway? Oh, I'd spend at least as much. It's like, it's like the worker thing where they talk about like buying the nice boots versus like when you're struggling on the financial end, it's like, oh, you have to keep buying the cheap, bad boots. But if you could just one time before the good ones, they'd last forever. Now I'm like, okay, listen, I'll buy the $25 ball now. I thankfully made it far enough that I can occasionally give the dog something he deserves.
Yeah, good. I mean, it is a trade-off, you know, and it's like, what do you want? I think I hear a lot of people in the dog toy aisle talk about this whole topic, you know, in itself. And it's, you know, I try not to influence them because, you know, I don't know their situation. So I don't want to be like, oh, you should buy this one. It's the best one we got. It's $40, you know?
Right, exactly.
But, you know, I try to steer them in a mid-range and then find out through asking questions where they are from there.
Uncovering the needs.
Right,
as it were.
exactly. I
But
forgot
it's like
that.
amazing as you but as you learn people, the thing is like you'll learn the person and you'll find that good thing. That's kind of fun. I didn't realize how much you were out there doing that kind of stuff too. That's
I
cool.
mean, I try to stay out on the floor on weekends, especially just because
it's
that's
crazy.
where, it's.
Well, I always see you out there. And I felt like I was always just like, oh my gosh, he's just like resetting and putting out new product and finding new products. So it's cool that you're also making time for the customers. Genuine. I really
Yeah,
mean that
no. I mean, I feel like that that has to be part of your job. I mean, if you want to do this right.
Right. I agree with that.
I mean, I can always just order stuff and put it on the shelf and be
Hope for the
done.
best,
But,
yeah.
right.
Sure.
But I mean,
like,
I
all
try
right,
to.
IAMS for everybody, you know. Call Nestle, whoever Mars bought
Mars,
them, I think.
yeah, they did.
Long
Mars
story.
owns everything now in pet
crazy,
food.
yeah. They're like, we're called Mars. We're trying to own Earth.
It's
I'm like,
it's called Mars Pet Care now.
Of course it is. Bunch of jerks. I'm just kidding. You guys are all lovely people, I'm sure. I love your candy bars more than your pet
These are
food,
Mark's
though.
comments,
Yeah,
not mine.
Everyone lets me. I think at this point, I think they know. They're like, well, he is a comedian. He'll say things, and then he'll back.
Oh, you
that
are a
out of me,
comedian?
allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Not according to any comedian I've ever met, which is great. Join me, Cincinnati's #1 comedian. Thank you, City Beat and the people of Cincinnati for voting me. You know. We really didn't even talk about this last thing though. What even is that? I like it.
It is a suet feeder bird. So like we have. I don't know how well versed everybody is on suet feeders.
So what even
I
is suet? Maybe I know it's like the brick of thing you give to birds, right?
Right, and it comes in like it's basically a meal brick.
Okay.
There's like pellets, there's plugs, there's different things. I mean, I'm doing terrible here because I can't figure out how to open this. But
Uh-oh.
I know really what
The
it is.
facade falls apart. So
Oh no, here it
quickly.
is. No, it comes apart.
Nice.
I mean, I put it together, so you think I'd be able to take it apart.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you got to break it off in the back
I
end.
know now. Can we edit this out?
Of course. I'll time it in.
I really can't figure out how to open it.
I'm leaving my jokes about putting your fingers in the back end. That's how you prop it open.
Yeah, I don't even see the hinge anymore. I don't know. You
So
supposedly
the point
can
is, you
it.
open this thing. Listen,
now
all
I'm
we got
gonna
to do,
break it.
yeah, Mike. All you got to do is buy and sell it. Okay, nobody's asking you to be an expert on the product itself.
Well, now, here it is.
You found it.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
there it is. It's under the wing.
It's a latch. That's what I forgot. So there's a latch.
I will say
It opens
though,
up.
for everybody that can't see this as up close, you were definitely doing it the right way. That's a weird. I would have never thought to look at it that way.
I've got so many different things that have so many different things with them.
Right, exactly. So you put the feed inside the.
This would
the
be
belly
more
of the
like
beast.
suet pellets.
Okay.
You could put bird seed, but it would likely fall out.
Yeah.
So it's for suet pellets mostly. I mean, you could put a suet brick in there.
That's
or
what I
plugs.
was
It doesn't
thinking.
matter.
Yeah.
Birds can get to it. They use all these to sit on and peck at it.
Oh, cool.
And it's
And then
so
you can hang
pretty
it.
and it reflects beautifully in the sun.
I agree, and it's my colors. I have a jacket that matches it weirdly perfectly. It's like changed
We need to
color
make
light.
this to a hat for you to wear on Halloween.
That would be amazing. Listen, I'm ready. I'll take the hat. I'll go full peacock, whatever we need. I haven't said no to a lot of things.
I know you have. That's why
awesome.
you're here.
Right, exactly. And they haven't let me go yet. I think they're like, oh, he's still willing to do it. Sounds great.
Right.
Mike, this is so cool. I'm so glad you let me explore this a little bit too.
I am too.
So let me. Oh, sorry, we're recording a show right now. What was I going to ask you? I'll maybe leave that in. That happens not as frequently as I thought, but it will happen sometimes. That's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I totally threw me off.
No, I mean, I wanted to come in here. We have a new line of Canada. That's actually my line that I am most proud of.
Okay.
Canada Pooch. I got a dog hanging from the ceiling for it.
Yeah.
I've got denim vests for your dog if you want your dog to be cool.
Oh.
We've
That's
got
awesome. You said
cooling
they're a
hats.
Canadian company too?
Yeah, they are.
Of course
Canadian
they said a denim vest. I love you, Canada, so much. That's awesome.
I've got life vests for dogs, which are awesome. I mean, all sizes. I've got little. That's actually what I meant to grab on my way in here. I've got little tiny ones. I've got giant ones for Great Danes.
And they're all on the end cap display there, right?
No, I mean, I've got a whole half of an aisle filled
oh my
with
gosh, even
stuff.
better. That's really cool.
Yeah, I've got little cooling tents for dogs. I've
Aw.
got cooling hats for dogs.
That's adorable.
And I just looked at their Christmas lineup and talk about adorable. I sound
Really?
so gay. They are super cute.
Dude, I'm in.
Dog hats and cat hats for the holidays. I have to get them in.
Oh my
I
gosh.
cannot say no.
Hey, so they're like
They got little pom-poms on top and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, really, yes.
Listen, I think I've moved into my animal costuming era. That's it. If he won't learn to sign language,
he's going to have to wear a costume.
Yes, like, that's the rules, dude. I didn't make them. I just make them. You know, it's like, you want to keep getting fed? This is what you got to earn your keep, dude.
Right.
You know, he doesn't even pay rent. It's insane.
Right. Pets are lazy.
They're so bad.
They never earn their keep.
It's so upsetting.
So this would be his chance.
That's really good. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait. That's so cool. Well, you know what? Like I said earlier, if I have time to get him in before I air this, I will dress him up in all those and we'll lay them over the clip of you talking about those products too. And if I can't get him in, I'll just go take some shots myself and we'll do it that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going anywhere, Mike. So anytime you have a new product, I tell every manager that comes on here.
And you email us all the time too.
I know, right? And I'm sure everybody's like, okay, leave me the fuck alone.
I was upstairs like, somebody do something for Mark. He's emailed us all again.
I'm like, it's easy. I was like, there's a lot of products. Just tell me, listen, I'm here to drive your sales along with you. So.
All right, well, next one we'll just do all Canada Pooch.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Seriously.
I mean, there's like 60 SKUs, or actually 120 SKUs in there.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. Seriously, anytime you get that new stuff, so I mean, especially when the holiday stuff comes in, let's make time to do a follow-up on that.
For sure.
We can bring the cats in. I mean, that'd be fun.
My cats?
You don't have, if you want yours. If not, I am sure one of my charming and beautiful people out there will gladly give me some loaner pets.
And if you need a cat carrier, I've got some cat carriers, and I've got the disposable cat carrier too. That's like a cardboard box with holes in it.
Oh yeah, so you can throw the whole cat
and it's
out.
Under $20. Yeah, you could throw the cat in there, throw the cat out.
Sorry, like I couldn't hear it. I had my earbuds in. I learned to sign.
You wouldn't be dead.
Oh man, that's awesome, Mike. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad we finally made this happen.
I agree. Thanks.
Yeah. Anytime you've got new stuff, let me know, and then I've got those other YouTube shows going on for this too. So anytime, happy to show some love. So thanks. I'm gonna play with these binoculars later.
All right.
Hey, thank you all so much for supporting the show. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, you know the drill. Reach out to me. podcast@junglegyms.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'm always taking suggestions, requests, critiques even. You can be kind of mean to me. I can hang. I might not be nice back, but that's the trick. But thankfully I work for a place that allows me to be myself, who is sometimes snarky and a little snippy back if you snip at him first. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I am always so very thankful for your support. Thanks for laughing along with me. Thanks for trying stuff along with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And in the meantime, I'll see you out there in the aisles.
The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.